$350,000 gross salary sounds like you're winning at life. Until you compare a US surgeon to a German peer earning euros 220,000 and discover the American takes home significantly less after taxes and mandatory costs. Most high earners don't run this math until after they've locked into a career path. By then, it's too late to optimize. In the next 4 minutes, you'll see the exact tax, FICA, and insurance breakdown that flips the wealth narrative, and learn what your $350,000 actually becomes after the government and mandatory costs take their cut. Let's start with the headline nobody wants to hear. The $108,000 salary advantage shrinks to $60,000, $80,000 in actual spendable income. That's roughly $1.5 million to $2 million less accumulated wealth over a 25-year peak earning window. Not because the US is worse, but because most high earners don't account for the full tax and insurance drag on marginal income. And before you think this is just about California, wait until you see how the federal layer alone destroys the advantage. Here's the precise breakdown for a US surgeon at $350,000 in a high-tax state like California. Start with federal income tax. At $350,000, you're locked in the 37% marginal bracket. That's $129,500 before any other deductions. But it doesn't stop there. California state income tax for top earners sits at 13.3%, the highest in the nation. That's another $46,550. Combined, that's $176,050 gone before Social Security, Medicare, or health insurance even enters the picture. You're down to $173,950 in one breath. Think about that, nearly half your raise is already claimed. Now add the net investment income tax. At $350,000, a surgeon qualifies for this hidden layer. That's 8% on investment income, roughly $2,000, $3,000 annually depending on portfolio composition. You're now at $170,000, $171,000. But here's where most high earners miss the trap that cost them six figures, the additional Medicare tax. The hospital insurance tax adds 9% to wages over $200,000 for single filers. That's $1,350. Combined with regular FICA 35% for Medicare already withheld, your total Medicare drag is roughly $8,225 on the $350,000. We're sitting around $162,000, $165,000 now. Then comes the cost that nobody talks about until they're living it, family health insurance. For a high-income household in the US, employer-sponsored premiums run $18,000, $22,000 annually, but add out-of-pocket costs, copays, deductibles, prescriptions, specialist visits, and you're looking at $25,000, $30,000 annually. If we assume $28,000, you're down to $135,000, $137,000 in actual take-home that can fund retirement, education, or wealth building. This is the number that matters. This is what's left. Now flip the camera to Germany. A surgeon earning euros 220,000, $242,000 faces a completely different structure, and it's where the myth gets shattered. Germany's progressive tax is brutal at high income, shocking to American earners. At euros 220,000, you're paying roughly 42% marginal tax on the highest portion. That's euros 92,400 in federal and state taxes combined. You're down to euros 127,600, $140,360. That sounds worse. It's not. Here's the critical difference that most comparisons miss. Mandatory health insurance in Germany is deductible and heavily subsidized by law. A high earner pays roughly euros 400, euros 600 per month, $4, $800, $7, $200 annually for comprehensive coverage, far below US premiums, and it covers the entire family automatically. No separate copay structure. No $5,000 deductibles. No surprise $3,000 bills from out-of-network providers. It's baked into the system, capped by regulation. So the German surgeon nets approximately euros 120,000, euros 128,000, $132,000, $140,800 after all taxes and mandatory insurance. The take-home is lower in absolute terms, but here's what changes everything. The insurance is already included. There are no hidden healthcare costs waiting in April or at the doctor's office. Here's the wealth-building delta that actually matters. The US surgeon has $135,000, $137,000 spendable income. But $28,000 of that $137,000 is committed to health insurance premiums and out-of-pocket costs that don't build wealth. That leaves $107,000, $109,000 for actual discretionary wealth building. The German surgeon has $132,000, $140,800, and health insurance is already absorbed into the tax number. Their entire discretionary wealth-building capacity is roughly $132,000, $140,800. The gap nearly identical. Sometimes the German earner comes out ahead. Over 25 years of peak earning, a $5,000, $8,000 annual difference in discretionary income compounds to $125,000, $200,000 in lost wealth accumulation before investment returns. Add compound growth at 7% annually, and that gap widens to $400,000, $650,000 in lifetime opportunity cost. The belief gap is clear. US high earners assume gross income translates directly to net wealth. The tax code, FICA structure, and healthcare cost architecture suggest otherwise. Your $350,000 salary isn't the full story. For any high-earning professional deciding between specialties, locations, or countries, this single insight, run the after-tax, after-insurance math first, could determine six figures in lifetime wealth before you even start. Numbers don't lie, listen to them.